Good morning, Saitlanders. How are you? We hope that you're well after a long time. Excuse me while I look at the monitor and not at the camera. I haven't produced videos for a long time, about 5 months. No, I'm exaggerating. What are we in? Mid-October, so let's go 20th of October, 20th of September, 20th of August, 20th of July, 20th of June. Yeah, 4 months. It's long enough. And at the best of times, I struggle with the technical side of things. I'm not a very technically gifted person. And I've just produced three videos, or recorded three videos, I should say, and uploaded one of them, only to discover that all of them didn't have sound. I hope, for pity's sake, that this one has sound, and that I can upload it successfully. So, what can I tell you? It's good to be back. I'm sorry that we were away for so long. We had all sorts of issues, computer issues, publishing issues, illness. I was bedridden for 32 days with illness. Bedridden as in bedridden 23 hours a day. I would just get up, to go to the toilet, obviously, and, you see, this is because I've got the WhatsApp open, and I want it open. Hang on, I'm going to decline here. Just decline like that. Sorry, guys. I want it open because there's something in WhatsApp that I want to open to show you in a video that I'm going to produce in the next short while, or record. Where were we? Yeah, so the illness was bad, man. It was really very bad. I'd get up, to go to the toilet, make a sandwich, whatever, but it was so debilitating that there were days, multiple days, that I didn't shower, which is terrible. It's disgusting, but that's how severe it was. Anyway, I just want to say thanks to, and I'm telling you all of that so you understand why I didn't produce videos over that period. And then I had 4 relapses following it, and even in between the relapses, I was so weak that if I exerted myself even slightly, I'd be kaput the next day, just kaput, as if I'd kind of run the comrades or something the previous day. I wanted to thank Nicoline van der Merwe for the lovely message she sent me. It was just perfect timing. I know many of you sent me messages, many of you offered help, many of you did help, but it's the one message that just sticks in my mind. And I was so kaput inside of me at the time that I remember just typing something like, "Ai toch, Nicoline," that was all I could manage. And I thought to myself afterwards, shame, she probably thought it was a rude response, but it wasn't meant to be at all. In fact, her message, it was just, I don't know, I suppose it's the person. Because if I think about it, the writing wasn't, it's more that you hear the voice of that particular person and you know their personality and what kind of a sort of soul they are, if that's the right way to put it. And you appreciate it so much more. Even though what they said may have been fairly straightforward, Who else? Tannie Yaki van der Merwe for the food. I don't think that you believe me, Tannie Yaki, but I'm going to say it now for the third time. That soup that lasted me that week was so healthy. It was just about the healthiest food I've eaten in years, I think. You had a brilliant combo there. Maybe it's just because I was that sick that I appreciated it all the more. But I tell you what, it hit the spot. Best thing I ate through the entire duration of my illness. Jan van der Merwe for bringing me medicine. Who else? Narina for standing by me through everything. Dirk for bringing me groceries every couple of days. He brought me groceries many times. Who else? Gee, there are many people who sent me messages of condolence, and I appreciate all of you. I'm struggling to kind of remember now, everybody, but yeah, thanks everybody. Let's move on. Guys, we are living in a bewildering and perplexing time. I think that anybody, even say a millionaire or a billionaire, must be bewildered and perplexed at this time. You might think to yourself, well, so-and-so's got so much money, he probably doesn't care about all of the events that are transpiring in the world and in South Africa. He's okay, Jack. I reckon with this new thing, I don't know if you've seen it or heard of it, a lot of talk on the internet. We, Saitlanders, have been talking about this from the 30th of August 2019. Eric Bornman, famous Saitlanders leader. Eric Bornman is witness to the fact that we spoke about this on the last day of August 30 or 31st of August 2019 in a speech at an event that the Saitlanders Oranje hosted. But now it's becoming big. It's being covered even in the mainstream media, so much so that a journalist asked Joe Biden yesterday or the day before, perhaps the day before that, what about inflation, Mr. President? As he walked off Air Force 2, is that the name of the helicopter? The jet is Air Force 1 and the helicopter I think is Air Force 2, I don't know. As he walked off, and those journalists are vetted. Those are liberal journalists. Even the liberal mainstream media is saying, hey, this inflation thing that these crazy right-wingers like Saitlanders and Zero Hedge and whoever else have been talking, is it coming true? It appears to be coming true. In this time, we should all be thinking about prepping, guys. I know that it's easier said than it is done. But I want to, and I hope you don't mistake this for bragging, because you and I know, many of you, and I for certain know, that many of your preparations are far better than mine. I'm not a great prepper. So don't mistake this for bragging. It is intended only as encouragement and inspiration for people who perhaps don't have preparations as good as my humble preparations, or who've never considered preparing. Some of you watching might be mainstream, normie people, even liberals, who are being terrified by what's occurring in the world at the moment. So I'll give you a little example. This morning I had breakfast of chicken's eggs from my hens. And it reminded me why I keep the chickens. It's not cost effective at all. In fact, it's you could say a waste of money. So I'm glancing out the window because it sounded as if a motorbike was pulling up at my driveway. But it does teach you how to prepare. And in the then time, in a time of nationwide anarchy, in a time of civil war, in a time of ridiculous inflation, the value of the animals in currency terms and the value of what they produce will be completely different. I've also ordered a beehive. I was inspired by one of my sons, my oldest son. He now has 2 or 3 hives, and by the end of next week he will have 5. So he's getting well into it. And I thought, why not? 1,300 Rand. Not that everybody has 1,300 Rand lying around all of the time. It is true. But I decided I'd cut some corners with other debts or other obligations, cheat a little bit, and redirect the 1,300 Rand to a beehive. I haven't received it yet. As I say, I've ordered it. I'll get it roughly within the next, let's say between 3 and 10 days. And then I've got some window boxes. You know those window boxes that you plant herbs in? Kind of that sort of size. You get them bigger as well, but I've got the small ones. I'm not a gardener by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought that was a good thing to do. You know, it cost me, I can't remember, I think each window box cost 28 Rand, I think. And the soil, I got enough soil for 6 window boxes. I bought 6 window boxes, got soil for 6 window boxes. I think that was, I want to say 40 Rand, but I could be mistaken. And then I got some seeds from my friend. She had bought seeds, so she just gave me a few out of each packet for free. Guys, it's not easy, but we're all going to have to start doing it sooner or later. Sooner rather than later. Keeping chickens, is it that easy for everybody? Maybe not. Keeping a beehive, is it that easy for everybody? Maybe not. Planting a vegetable garden, which by the way is next on my list. Those raised beds. I think you can do them for pretty cheap. A few planks, I've got some scrap wood, I've got some scrap timber, planks. I'm going to get a guy to help me. A few $100 maybe. I don't know. It should be pretty cheap. Should be next to nothing actually, because I've got most of the wood already. I've got about 200 recycled nails, and I have a hammer. Now after that it's just the soil. I've got an abundance of soil in the communal land behind my house. It's quite sandy and it drains too well. But I'll mix in some clay and other stuff, and I should be good to go. So yeah, not everybody can make a vegetable patch or a tunnel, which is my next thing to do. But anybody can plant herbs in window boxes. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that time when we are going to have to be self-reliant, because money will not be worth what it is today, and because income will not be as readily available to us as it is today. That time is coming. Anyway, guys, I hope you appreciated this ramble, this first ramble in 4 months. If you did, press like, please. It helps with the algorithms. Share. There are a lot of liberals, your sister, your mother, your daughter, who now want to hear this stuff even though they only admit it begrudgingly or they don't admit it at all. And subscribe. All right. Goodbye and God bless you, everybody.